Isso, Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Bert Kreisher.
I will never quit drinking. I will never quit drinking. I will always make sure that I can keep my body healthy enough so that I can always drink. I love seeing a sunrise with a cocktail, seeing a sunset with a cocktail, having friends walk into your house with a bottle of wine, getting on a plane. Can I get you something? Double Jack on the rocks. Lots of rocks. I love the moment someone says, "Hey, we should get a drink," and you're not supposed to. That feeling, it's like a first kiss. You don't get that first kiss when you're married. You get to have those first drinks. At a brunch, someone goes, "Should we do mimosas?" And then waiter goes, "Actually, we have bottomless mimosas." And you're like, "This is gonna be the best day ever."
Dude, you just hyped me the fuck up. You just hyped me up, bro. That was like a locker room speech.
Yeah.
It's pretty inspirational.
I should speak at AA meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, there hasn't been a more functioning alcoholic ever since every member of the Rat Pack. Bert Kreischer, despite his appearance, is a very funny and yet fit individual. He's got a gut that only a fat guy can dream of. No stretch marks, no pimples, just simple, fat, keg skin. And by golly, it's beautiful. But ladies and gentlemen, I would love to give Bert Kreischer his flowers because he's just an average Joe. He's nothing special. Not that he's not a good guy. I'm just saying, a lot of people criticize him. He just takes off his shirt and he's just good for a cheap laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a lot more than that, okay? He's a comedian. He does films. He does TV shows. And he can drink anybody under the table. Now, yes, he is from Florida, and, let's try not to judge him. But at the same time, I just wanted to say thank you, Mr. Kreischer, for all the years of entertainment through your podcasts and all your great stories. I think you're a very, very nice person, very good individual, someone who you can have 20 drinks with and they won't judge you. It's just nice to see that. It really is. So if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, with the help of Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, I would like to just review a little bit of Bert Kreischer's life, and let's see what true alcoholism can actually do for a person's career. Let's begin. Bert Kreischer, born November 3rd, 1972, nicknamed The Machine, is an American stand-up comedian, podcaster, reality television host, and actor. In 1997, he was featured in an article in Rolling Stone while attending Florida State University. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to pause this brilliant podcast for 1 second here and just say, a lot of people say that Florida State University is just a party school. And a lot of times the cops have to be called because it gets a little crazy, as you can see. And it's not that good for education. The magazine named Kreischer the top partier at the #1 party school in the country. The article also served as inspiration for the 2002 film National Lampoon's Van Wilder. That's right, folks. A lot of people don't know this, but it was inspired by this man, Bert Kreischer. Instead, we got Ryan Reynolds, which was probably the first thing I ever saw Ryan Reynolds in. I mean, if you don't count two girls, a guy, a pizza place, a store, it's something like that. And he had the chance to actually sue the people because they felt that he stole the idea. He didn't. He chose to go another route. And I don't know. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, if someone steals my idea, I'd be pretty pissed. I'm not going to lie. Should he have sued? Me personally, I would have. But then one of his lawyers or agents said, whatever, listen, you could be that type of person in Hollywood that sues everyone, or you can just move on with your life. And he decided to move on. So, I mean, I don't know. Was that the wise thing? I mean, who knows? I mean, Van Wilder ended up being more of a cult hit. I mean, it didn't make that much money at the box office, I don't think, you know. I mean, it was more of a leaping vehicle for Ryan Reynolds. But, yeah, you know, it's your call. If it was my call, I would have sued the shit out of them. I don't care. Kreisher has served as host of the television series Hurt Bert on FX, as well as Bert the Conqueror and Trip Flip on Travel Channel. I've never heard of any of these shows. I got to be honest. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I mean, again, I got to thank Joe Rogan. I did a podcast about Joe Rogan. If you want to check that out, cool. I don't care. The point is, you know, guys like Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, Joey motherfucking Diaz. I would have never known anything about these guys if it wasn't for Joe Rogan. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, apparently he did Travel Channel for, I don't know, 10 years or something. I mean, I don't know. He appeared in The Machine, a comedy film loosely based on his life, which I'm going to review later on. As a part of his production company, Birdie Boy Productions, Kreischer produces and hosts the podcasts Bertcast and Open Tabs and the cooking show Something's Burning. He also co-hosts the podcast Two Bears, One Cave, nope, that is not a gay porn, with Tom Segura. So, I mean, this guy is pretty busy. I mean, okay, he doesn't do that many acting gigs anymore. He doesn't have to. Probably makes a shitload off his touring and all these Netflix specials and you know, the podcasts and all that. So he's doing pretty well. Okay, but there's a lot of things you don't know about Bert Kreischer, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm bored. Now it says here, TVOvermind.com. 10 things you didn't know about Bert Kreischer. He's in his 40s. Okay, so this was written a few years ago. He's actually 50 now, but that's okay. That's okay. Actually, wait, do the math. 70, okay, hold on. I'm going to do math like Howard Stern here. Hold on. 72, so 82, 92, 2002, 2012, 50, so add 1. Okay, so he'll be 51 this year. There you go. Okay. The Toronto school board system did not fail me. He gets to celebrate his 48th birthday on Election Day in 2020. Okay, this needs to be updated. That's okay. We'll work through this, which means that he might be slightly overshadowed by a few other things going on that day. But we feel that he has what it takes to... Wait, what? Wait, am I reading? Wait. But we feel that he has what it takes... There you go, okay. To make the most of that. How's that a fact? Is that really a... Okay. He's a Florida guy. No shit. Born and raised, he's from Tampa. It's one of our favorite Florida cities because it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's not nearly as busy and aggravated as some of our other Florida favorites. The only thing that we feel... I just want to stop right here. I'm reading this off the website here. I've been to Florida, and believe me, I mean, dying to do a podcast about Florida. I mean, but the problem is, like, every fucking week I see a new story, and it's just insane. I mean, I went there one time. Holy shit, it was crazy. It was I don't know. They have these like little lizards crawling all over the place. You know, you gotta close your door quick, or else they go into buildings, and it's very hot, very hot. The only thing that we feel a little bad about is his choice of college. While we were huge fans of the University of Florida, he made a decision to attend Florida State University, FSU, which is just a rivalry shame. Oh well, we still think it's awesome he went to college. I mean, if you listen enough to this podcast, it's I mean, he literally did what? Like, he really was Van Wilder. Like, he lived that life. He was in there for what, 7, 8 years or some shit? I mean, it is fucking, I mean, most of them come out doctors, but studied English and spent time in the frat house. The Alpha 20, TAU Omega frat house, to be specific. All right, so there you go. Are we shocked that he was part of a frat? Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure the frat wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him. Yeah, I remember going to university for a bit. I went to one frat house. They said it was a chapter of one of the 130-some of Animal House that's actually in Toronto. It's just outside St. George Station. If you go down the street there, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. It's smallest bathroom I've ever seen in a house. I mean, this house must have been made in, I don't know, like 1842. Literally, for some reason, it's like 10 by 2 feet, if you could believe it. I don't know. You got to piss over a radiator. It's a whole thing. Where are we here? He had a good upbringing, of course. Who didn't? Well, there's a lot of speculation about what makes people funny. Did they have an interesting childhood? We always assume that they had either a terrible one and had to be funny for lack of anything else positive in their lives, or that they had a very interesting childhood that wasn't typically the norm. His family seems okay, though. His mother was in the line of work that entailed early childhood development. I think she's still working on that with Bert. She could have been a teacher. Okay. I mean, was she or no? I don't know. You could just answer. His father was an attorney in the real estate sector. Okay. So, good money there, especially in Florida. I assume people are, Florida houses get, drug rated all the time. So, I mean, shit always goes up and, for sale, and there you go. He's got a cool title. The Princeton Review named FSU the top party school in the U.S. in 1997. Shocker. Which also happened to be the 6th year Bert was in school there. Holy fuck. To make that even more exciting, Rolling Stone was the top partier at the #1 party school in the country. In a 6-page article the publication published, we imagine his parents weren't exactly thrilled. This is what their son got out of college, but no press is bad press, right? Wrong. Clearly, you never watched the OJ trial. The point is, listen, if you got a kid that's in school for 6 years, you assume he's going to be the best surgeon ever. But sometimes it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You have a kid, you roll the dice. I don't have kids. I might have one in Scarborough. I don't know. Who knows? He's got a movie based off of him. That little article in the little publication was a big deal. It was so big, in fact, Ryan Reynolds basically plays Bert Kreischer in National Lampoon's Van Wilder because the movie was based off of his life in FSU. So I mentioned that before. Yeah, I mean, I listen, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I wouldn't let shit like that go. I mean, they say let it go. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I always hate when people say let it go because to me, you got to hold on to shit. And I'll tell you why. Let me school you guys here. So basically, you can't, I get it, you got to move on and learn from it, okay, but that's what that means. But you can't actually forget shit that happened to you, okay? So, Bert's got to remember that, right off the bat here, they're trying to screw him over already when he's going into Hollywood. Now, me personally, I would have sued, okay? At the same time, yeah, Van Wilder didn't make that much money, but it became more of a cult classic. But either way, man, I mean, they took your idea. You know what I mean? So I never understood why he didn't sue. I don't know. I mean, he's very happy-go-lucky, which I guess is a good thing. But I don't know. I would have sued. Just saying. Good movie though. I always liked Van Wilder. I thought it was pretty good. He's married. He's a married man. There you go. Yeah, he's married. We don't know too much about his life other than she must like a funny guy. Her name is Leanne. They have 2 kids, both daughters, and they live their best life in Los Angeles. Their daughters are Isla and Georgia. Clearly, this website has done their research. Yeah, he talks about nothing but his family. I don't know. He talks about his girls getting into trouble and making him laugh and a whole bunch of shit, and his wife being sort of a hillbilly but not really, and yeah, he over-exaggerates some stuff, but you have to if you have a comedy act. So I don't know. I'm a lazy guy, but I don't know, this website should have done more research. But I'll continue. He's on Netflix. He's everywhere, though. So we aren't surprised. He is starring in a Netflix show called The Cabin with Bert Kreisher, and people are loving it. They want to see what it's all about. You could watch it and find out. And it seems like it might just be pretty funny. Okay. Again, I've actually seen it. I think it's pretty funny. I think it's a good time. He just invites all his comedy buddies up to this cabin, and I don't know, they all get shit faced. So there you go. He does too much. Drinking. He likes the rest of us. Oh, like the rest of us. I'm sorry. He's guilty of doing too much in one day. He likes to keep his schedule packed, but he also knows he's doing too much most days. This is a bullshit fact. Sorry. So basically, long story short, you already know he does a lot. I already listed all the shit he does. There you go. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Come on. Guys, you're killing me here. He's private. Comedians are notoriously open about their life. What do you mean he's private? They didn't do anything. What is this website? TVOvermind.com. What is this? He talks nothing about his. He talks everything about his life. What are you talking about? That's his whole act. He talks about his family, his kids, his friends, all this shit. What are you talking about? His last fact better be a gem. He's doing all right. Really? Okay. If you were worried about his life, don't be. He's not just funny and living a good life with his family. He's also doing a good job financially. What kind of facts are these? We hear his net worth is right at $3 million, which isn't bad for a guy who tells jokes for a living. We approve this message. What? What is this? What? Really? Come on. No, this is horrible. God, ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize. I'm very disappointed. I mean, usually when you find facts about people, they give you something here, like I don't know. He likes to fart in cups or something. I don't know. Give me something funnier. I don't know. Like what the? I mean, this is bullshit. I mean, this is holy cow. I'm very disappointed. Well, even on IMDb, they got nothing here. Bert has the Mickey Mantle gene, said the motorcycle going by. I don't know. Sorry, I think they're taping Minds MC back there. Bert has a fondness for dogs. Wow. Okay. Well, we're just going to go to IMDb here and review some of his stuff here. But, actually, you know what? Because I'm trying to salvage this podcast here. Wow, this is very disappointing. Okay, so basically, okay, Bert is more known for his, his stand-up, taking his shirt off, going nuts there. It's all good stuff. Okay, I mean, he talks a lot about his family, kids, like I said, but I mean, the guy's done a shit ton. I mean, a shit ton of stuff. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's come out with a couple audio albums here. Bert, and the other one called "Life of the Party: Stories of a Perpetual Man-Child." Now, that is true. If you look up the word man-child, you will obviously see a picture of Bert Kreischer. I mean, the man is 50 and he lives his life like he's just tasted his first beer and he wants a shit ton more. Like he does drink a lot. I mean, he goes nuts. I mean, he will drink on his podcast, his shows. It's pretty insane. It is pretty insane. And then he's done his other specials like Hey Big Boy, Razzle Dazzle, which just came out, which is pretty funny. Him talking about his wife and all the shitty, like has to put up with, through the school board and, like with his kids and all that. And, he's extremely open. Yeah. So I don't know what this website's talking about here. I mean, he talks about tons of shit. I don't know. Secret Time, that's a good one too. The Machine, obviously. Now, the reason why they call him the Machine, okay? The reason why, get this, gang. He talks about the whole situation there. When he was in university, he had to get some credits or something, and he talks about how, he took this Russian class, but then he didn't know it was a Russian class until 2-3 classes in. Like he thought it was a class to learn Spanish or something. And then the teacher told him, okay, if you take this trip with us, we'll give you some partial credit, whatever. So, long story short, he goes on a train, okay? I mean, you can see the whole thing on YouTube there. He does it with a little bit more excitement. I mean, he's from Florida. He's had a couple. He just does it better. But just listen up anyway, because I got about 9 more minutes to, go on here. So, he goes to, Russia, and he goes on this train, and, he tells people he's the Machine, but they take it for something else, and they love him, they drink with him. Then at one point they rob the train, and he's just ruling the box carts here with all the Russians, and it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy story. So when you got a chance, okay, go on YouTube. It's got a shit ton of views there, so much so that this basically launched his career. I mean, kind of word of mouth went viral and all that, and there you go. So that's, Bert's a perfect example of a guy, if you have a really good story, word of mouth, if you get it out there on YouTube, perfect vehicle for a guy like that, you can have a pretty good career. And obviously you can't, base your whole career just on that. You got to, expand a little bit, whatever. And, and he's done, other stories, about the flying dildos, fighting a bear, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't believe. I don't know. I don't believe it. Comfortably Dumb, National Lampoon Live, New Faces, Volume 2. He's done a bunch of shit, okay? Bunch of stuff, okay? Stand-up is his pride and joy, okay? And with a guy like that, a guy that's got a lot of stories, willing to share a lot of stories with his family, basically, I think his kids are going to need a lot of therapy growing up, or at least one of them. I don't know. One of them seems more like him, but, he'll have the money. So it's all good there. But before he did all that, all these awesome specials, he did some TV movies, stuff like that. Of course. Why not? So the very first thing he did was on IMDb here, according to IMDb, because again, I don't like going to Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, it just it's shit. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, they badmouth the Mario movie. I thought the Mario movie was great. I don't know. Go fuck yourselves. So I'll stick with IMDb. There you go. I haven't even no drinking today. Just au naturel. Yeah, so the first thing he ever did was a thing called Hurt Bert. I mentioned this before. As a TV movie he did, all the way in 2005. So to be relevant almost like 20 years later and even, have this career, it's pretty awesome. So gives you an idea how much, a lot of stand-up comedians go through and all the shit, and it's pretty crazy. So Bert Kreischer, Comfortably Dumb. Most of us are comfortably dumb. Most of us can't even say it, like me. But Florida, maybe that's the lifestyle. Bert Kreischer, the Machine, I mentioned that. He tells the whole story there. Check it out when you get a chance. Unlike Tom Segura, I'm not tired of hearing the story over and over again. I enjoy it. I think it's nice. I also did a podcast about Tom Segura as well. If that one I put way more energy into, because he's a fellow Aryan, so I figure why not. Plus, if you look at both of us, I'm pretty sure we're brothers. Something's Burning. I mentioned that before. It's a show. He just cooks with the comedians, and why not? Any excuse to eat and get paid. I'm there. The Cabin with Bert Kreischer. I mentioned that before. Goes up there with his buddies, gets shit face. If Netflix has got the money for him, why not? Go Big Show. I'm assuming that's a stand-up thing he did. Razzle Dazzle is the most recent special he did. Just had the chance to watch it. It was pretty funny. I've never seen anybody rip open their shirt and literally it would appear to be diamonds as buttons. I thought that was pretty cool. Just kind of like 3D into the camera there. But yeah, it tells stories about, his kids, his family there, his wife, who I'm assuming at this point is a saint putting up with all this shit. And it is, there we go. But the main thing I'd like to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is something I talked about in a previous podcast just recently, is the whole PC culture affecting comedy movies. And I am very disappointed in, that whole culture. And if, like I've said before, and I'm going to probably say it again for the next 10 years, probably. The PC culture, if anything, has killed lots of things, but it is absolutely destroyed. I mean, annihilated comedies. And, you can still find some good comedies on TV, here and there. But movies, it's almost non-existent. It really is. I mean, ever since probably the early start of 2010s, it's really kicked into gear, and people just do not give a shit anymore. They don't. And you can't blame them, because if you make a movie, if you say something sexist or, say something racist or whatever in a movie, you will get canceled. It's insane. I mean, if you watch movies like, let's say, Caddyshack, Tropic Thunder, Slapshot, forget it. Okay, we all know what Paul Newman said to the woman at the end of the movie. You will never see an A-lister say anything remotely close to that. Okay, I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get in shit. The point is, it's just it's not there anymore, and people aren't going out to see movies anymore. They are, but not comedy movies. I mean, I don't know. They want to see big action movies. And you can't blame them because they're spending a shit ton of money. That, your family, gas, snacks, forget it. I mean, it's just not worth it unless you see a big budget movie on the screen there. So the reason why I bring this up is because Bert Kreischer's recent project is called The Machine. Now, it's a movie that he starred in. It's obviously based on, or loosely based on his life and the story of him going to Russia and dealing with the whole Russian mafia and all that. And I'm not going to lie. I did watch it. Right now it has a rating of 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. I would have gave it a 6.5, and to me, I've always said that 6.5 rating is basically the line between, sort of a movie that I'm not saying is the best movie in the world, but it's not the worst. It's kind of like in the middle. I mean, it's got some good laughs there, for the most part. But yeah, I mean, you could tell if a movie like this was made, let's say, at least 20 to 30 years ago, they probably would have done way more stuff with it, for sure, And I say stuff because, that's a perfect example. You got to cut back down on the shits. You got to cut back on the fucks. This movie is R-rated, don't get me wrong, but I gotta be honest with you, it feels like an R-rated movie today. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. I'm actually surprised it's R-rated. I mean, maybe because. Why is it R-rated? I don't know. It's a good question. I remember Bert Kreischer said in on one of his podcasts, he said, "Oh, I should have put a a pair of tits in there or something because it's R-rated. I mean, he should have went all nuts. And I can't disagree with him. You know, I mean, I don't know. Like, I remember these movies, they're just throwing tits for no reason. And again, you know, I'll get shit for saying that. But you know what? Let's just be honest. Ever since Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I've seen more Dixon movies than ever. I mean, it is just insane. But that's okay. Okay, but we can't see an extra pair of tits. All right, okay, yeah, it's you know, can we have a little balance here, guys? All right, just saying. But in all seriousness, it's an okay movie. It's got some good laughs. It's all right. You know, it's got some good action scenes. You know, you got Mark Hamill in there, which I don't know. I feel was a good move in the sense, you know, maybe Star Trek nerds or Star Wars. I don't know what the fuck he was in. Guys, I don't care about these movies. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know. Anything involving space, just you know, to me, that's what it takes up. But the point is, Mark Hamill was good in the voice of the Joker there in the cartoon there of Batman. There you go. And he was good in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Okay, that was classic. Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill. Applause. Jimmy Tatro plays a younger version of Bert. Yeah, I thought he did a good job. What's funny is, I mean, that's what Bert sort of used to look like. I mean, he was way more in shape, and you know, if you're a guy that drinks, eventually, yeah, you will get that gut, you know, by the time you hit 50. So, you know, it is what it is. I've Babik, is that how you say it? She plays Irina. She's the Russian that you know, not so much teams up with Bert and Mark Hamill there, you know, on their adventure, but. I guess they sort of team up and whatever. I don't know. She just wants to watch back, and it was some. I mean, the whole point of the movie is that, you know, they involve the whole Russian story, and he's got to go back to Russia and get the watch that they stole from her father or something, and she's trying to get good with her father because she wants to take over the Russian mob, and you know, and you know how much you know, like Americans love Russian now, but. You know, and there's a lot of other people too that I'll be honest, I don't recognize these people. Yeah, but the point is, it's a decent little movie, but you know, like he released it in theaters, and you know, it didn't do well. I think opening weekend it only made what, 4 million, give or take, or something like that. It's not good. Let's just say that. But it sucks. It does. Although I will say this, I've never seen a man light a cigar with a machine gun shooting. That you know with the flame, and I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, you know, it's an okay movie. Is it, you know, Caddyshack and Animal House and, you know, the greats? Of course not. It's not. I'm sorry. It just isn't. But then again, it's a Sony movie, and I'm like, I heard over the years Sony used to make like 12 pictures a year. Then it went down to like half or something, and the James Bond movie took forever to come out because of COVID and cutbacks and whatever. And I don't know, like every Sony movie that comes out, it just seems to disappoint or something. But I don't know. It's, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I would still check it out. It's good for a cheap laugh, you know. I like it. I mean, personally, I wish it did better in theaters, but I don't know. What are you gonna do? But my point is, guys, you know, there's just no good comedies anymore. There's not, you know, and there's, you know, decent ones like this, but I don't know, like, I'm just surprised this movie's rated R. Maybe because a little bit of violence and people getting shot, and I guess, I don't know, like, I mean, maybe a PG-13, but I really rated R? I don't see it. I don't see the point. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day, you'd see a rated R movie, and it was rated R, you know, like, but I don't know. Yeah, what are you gonna do? But I still love Bert. I think Bert's a good dude, and, you know, I mean, he's kind of like your average Joe, you know, type. If you know, if he was from Florida, you know, and he stopped taking steroids, but you know. But listen, all jokes aside, I love Bert Kreischer. I think he's a really good dude. I try to every week listen to the Two Bears, One Cave podcast there that he does with Tom. You know, I love how Bert is just, you know, going off on the stories, and I don't know, Tom just judges him because you know, like a typical Aryan will do that, you know, because like we don't give a shit, you know, we don't care, you know. We all have that stupid friend that, you know, we keep around that we love to make fun of. It is what it is. So, But yeah, I love seeing those two guys together, and yeah, I mean, hopefully, this movie will be a bigger hit on home video, and I don't know, maybe we'll get word of mouth, and there you go. I mean, you can tell they definitely put a lot into it. It's not like some cheap ass movie, whatever. I mean, the action scenes are pretty good, especially at the end there. I think when Bert's like just trying to fight, like whenever I see a fat man fight, it is just, or basically a fat man do anything physical, it's just always awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I thought he holds his own in this one, and Mark Hamill playing his father, I thought they had a good rapport back and forth there, and yeah, that's it, guys. I don't know what to tell you. One day maybe we will see a really strong R-rated movie, and and who knows? Maybe, once again, we will see, Bert Kreischer in that movie, or maybe we'll see him do other projects that, I don't know. Who knows? He did some TV show, what was it, The Shield or something, and he said they had him on a ledge or something trying to break in, or he was a pervert or something, and then he was supposed to be like masturbating or something, and then somebody actually went by that wasn't part of the set and thought he was actually masturbating, and he almost got in shit for it. Like, it was a whole thing there. But I don't know, like, Bert's just a good guy. Like, you could tell he means well, and I heard these great stories about him, like going on tour with his buddies there, in the tour bus, and he treats everybody right, make sure everybody is just treated good, So we need more guys like that in comedy, for sure. And that's one thing that the PC culture can't really touch is stand-up comedians. Like at least that is still pure. People can still go on there and do their own thing. And but not a lot of people can take off their shirt so proudly. I can, but I don't know. In the summertime I burn easy, so I don't know. It just I don't know. And in my stretch marks, I don't know. It looks like I got a jail cell on my gut. But the point is, Bert Kreischer is a good dude, and I just wanted to do this podcast. And I know I didn't put that much enthusiasm, but I mean, this is the fourth one I've done this weekend, and I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm tired. Like, if I have a good night of drinking, which actually I didn't this weekend. Actually, I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. Next weekend, that's gonna be a different story. But the point is, one man that clearly doing everything he can in the last 20 years is not tired is absolutely Bert Kreischer.
Name a country, I'll do an accent.
Oh, this is a fun game. Go ahead.
Argentina.
Argentina. There you go.
Really good.
Okay.
Okay, ready? I'll say it, ready?
France.
But no, hold on, I'll do a full sentence. Hi, I am from Argentina. I'm so sorry my cow got into your yard. However, let me grab my boleoderos. I will catch him, bring him back over to my house. I'll make a little bit of that green stuff I like to make and put on my meat. And then we will have some Argentinian beef. All right, next one.
France.
Hello, oui, monsieur. I'm so sorry I gave you herpes. I am smoking and I could not talk properly as I drank my wine and came on your teeth. Oui, monsieur.
Very good. How about Australia?
Okay. All right, mate. Let me get these Aborigines out of here. Get my kangaroo, and I'll catch this cruddy, and I'm gonna throw it in the back of my big truck.
You're nailing it today.
Keep going.
Germany.
And I'm from Germany. I like to be tied up and shit on. That is my thing. Because I'm from Germany.
Kind of fading off there, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
keep going.
First three.
Greenland.
Greenland? Hello. I'm from Greenland. Very nice to have you in my country. Lot of people assume that Iceland has green stuff and Greenland has ice stuff, but it's not that way. I'm from Greenland. Would you like a piece of whale? Keep going.
Russia.
So, hello. I am Russian. Are you the machine? You are? Okay. I think my accent's falling apart back to France. I think I'm going back to France.
Nailing it.
Nailed it.
Korea.
Korea? I'm not gonna do that one.
Food in honor of Bobby.
No.
What?
Hi, I'm Bobby. I'm Bobby Lee. I take my shirt off. I have a small dick.